I thought I'd just take you through today working with a combination of SketchUp and Adobe Firefly to create like our finished image with our sort of Vapourwave style work that we're getting into. So I'll take you through in the video. It's a pretty simple workflow, but I'll just kind of go through one start to finish just to get things underway. So what I'll do is I'll start off in SketchUp, and I've just got a new file here. It doesn't really matter too much about, you know, what dimensions we're in or anything like that. I'm just going to basically create a scene that might, you know, fit in with our Vapourwave aesthetic. So, you know, have a look on the web and see what kind of things are going on with this style. And then, oh, that was very good. And then, you know, we'll get things going. That's a bit more like it. So I'm just going to start out here with a horizontal plane. So this will kind of form where my work is. And a lot of this kind of Vapourwave action, it's interesting, especially the really sort of aesthetic stuff that you'll get, like often you'll have pools. So we'll work with that, you know, pools, water. So I'm going to use this offset tool, which is down the bottom here. Sometimes you'll find it, you can click on these three dots and you'll find the tool is in this tool set, but I've got it down here at the moment. So I'm doing an inset here. And the inset is really, I might make it a bit smaller actually. The inset is going to be where the pool drops down. So this is, think of the square like the surface, and then this will be a pool. Okay, so that's good. And then if we want to have like the pool steps down a bit, let's just create another bit inside that. That's cool. So that'll be like the deck of the pool, and then this will drop down inside it. So what I'll do for this scene, and look, it's pretty flexible once you start working. So yeah, I'll just drop the pool down like this, and I'm just going to add in a bit of a deck here. Whoops. Let's just drop this down a touch. That'll be, it's a bit touchy. That'll be good. Okay, so now I've got this scene starting to come together. What I might do, now it's totally up to you. I'm going to add like a random sort of tower section in the middle of this pool. So these images tend to be quite mysterious, and often they might have sort of buildings or structures, and it's not really clear what the, you know, what the purpose of them is. They're just kind of interesting to look at. So there's something sort of like for your imagination. So what I'll do is I might put in a kind of like strange, actually that's not a very good way of doing it. What I might do is actually rule this straight down so I get it nice and accurate. And I'm going to rule about where the top of my portal's going to be, and I'll rule in about the bottom. That's cool. And I might just go down here. So it's good just kind of using these tools, just letting them give you the halfway marks. Now I want a circle. So again, that's in my larger tool. So I'm just going to grab that there. I'm just going to pull this circle out. So it's going to give me this arch. So an arch is another form that's, you know, widely used within this genre. So what I'm going to do is just erase these middle bits, and that's going to give me my arch window. I'm going to get rid of these bits I don't need anymore. So they're good as guides, but that's it. And then what I can do is I can just push this through and out the other side like that. Okay, so that's going to start to give me this, you know, we don't know what the function of this is. It's just some kind of mysterious building coming out of the ground, out of the middle of the pool. What I might do is I might just sort of like bring out something that's going to be like a walkway. Again, I'm just making this up as I go along, and I might make up a bit of a wall that this will disappear behind as it goes along. So I'm just drawing in my wall. So again, I'm just sort of creating just a basic scene, and it's just enough to give the AI something to really be able to sort of look at and get things going on. So I'm going to just pull this out here, and I'm going to touch on this wall. Okay, so it gives me this sort of like strange portal We don't know what it is, and I might just pull this through here. So it's going to cut a hole through this wall here, which is good. And then I can just sort of pull this through a little bit. So I've got, you know, this kind of walkway through here. And then what I'll do is I'm going to just I'll delete the, obviously I'm just making this up as I go along, but I'm going to delete the top off that so that now I've got this kind of walkway going through there. Got a bit of weird stuff there. I could fix it. Maybe I will. Doesn't need to be too fancy. That'll do. That'll be good. And then I'll just chop that out so we can see through. I think that's good. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. So I've got this scene now. We'll just imagine that's, we don't really need to tell it that it's got water in there. We've got enough detail now. And this is where we can really start to get AI doing some work for us. So this is where all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a screenshot. You know, I'm not even going to do any sort of rendering or anything. I'm just going to copy this whole scene. I probably don't need outside that wall. I reckon this is sort of pretty good for starters. Okay, so that's just going to, on mine, I'll save it into my pictures, to my screenshots. Depends on what OS you're on, where it's saved to. But we're looking good. Okay, so what I've done now is I've got Adobe Firefly open, and I'm going to say something like create a Vapourwave aesthetic mysterious pool and building for starters. Okay, and you can make that a little bit more elaborate, but that'll get us going. Now, what we want to do now is bring in a photo. So under composition, we're going to upload the image. So that'll be the screenshot that I just made. I'm just going to go to my pictures and I'll go to my screenshots in my case and grab this one, and I'm going to go open. And we're just going to go continue. So that's good. Okay, so this has given us, so it'll basically work on that screenshot that we created. And the other thing that we want to do is our reference style. So we want to find some sort of aesthetic vaporwave style image, which I've got some here ready to go that I prepared earlier. So what I'm going to do, you can just search for them on the web. I'm just going to go upload image, and I'll go hunting and find myself one of those. I should have some on my desktop. I have, here's this one here. So perfect. I'm going to just go open that one. Okay, so that is my reference image. And I've got visual intensities all set in the middle for starters. Okay, so let's tell it now to generate. And I think the interesting thing about this is that it's very hard to describe in detail the form of a scene that you're trying to imagine. But if you create it in Sketchup, like we did, you're able to do visually in sort of, it's almost like a visual shorthand for what this scene might look like. So now I'm going to say generate. Okay, and it's going to go away and do its thing. Looks like I'm set in square mode at the moment, which is my, I'm not the hugest fan of square mode. Okay, so we're starting to see it's starting to come together a little bit. We've got a bit of sort of weirdness going on here, but you can see it's starting to get the general sort of scene that's going on, but we need to talk to it a little bit about what we want it to show in here. So what I might do is I might turn up the power or the strength. So this makes it conform more to the to what's going on. Mysterious. So let's go. Mysterious pool with a strange tower in the middle. There are luxurious palm trees, trees in pots around the pool. Okay, that's starting to get things going. There is a walkway to the tower. Okay, so I'm just spelling it out a little bit more, and we'll get it to generate again. So we're starting to get things going on, but we might do, before we do that, style photo. That's all good. There's probably not too much we need here, but we'll turn it into photo. That'll start to get things going a little bit more, and we'll change this into landscape. Okay, so let's hit generate now. So we're just starting to refine down this look. And so we can see now that we're starting to get this kind of like vaporwave scene. And it's going to start giving us some variations on how this pool sort of looks. So we can see here we're starting to get this like strange situation. We're starting to get it, you know, coming together, which is good. Let's have a look at our original tab here. Yeah, so this is sitting, maybe the angle could be a bit, it's a little bit sort of ambiguous maybe about where that's sitting in the pool. What I might do in this case is I might now just actually like put in a bit of a pool surface, and that might just help it to get the location right. So I'm just going to come up here to materials. Yeah, and I'm just going to, doesn't really matter, but I might just grab there's some better materials in here. Let's scroll down and find some water. Water. Okay, and let's just pop a bit of pool water on this. Oops, just check on the pool water, and we'll pop that in there, and that's just going to help it sort of like understand where this tower's sitting. It's not bad being able to have this sort of through line through here. So that's all pretty good. We might just fold this away, and we might now just sort of like set it like this. And again, I'm just going to take a screenshot. Here we go. This will be pretty good. Okay, so maybe this angle's a little bit better. Let's just grab that. Perfect. Okay, so I'll just go back to Firefly. But these were looking good, and it's starting to really get in the area that's, you know, where we want to be. And you can add in neon, more arches, all sorts of effects. We're sort of aiming for that really kind of like calm pastel tones, blue, pink, you know, and we might add in some clouds and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to upload that new image. So in my images and in my screenshots. So I think this method just gives you much better control over AI as you're using it. So now that we've got that uploaded, I've got the strength turned up. Let's generate that file out of the system. I'm going to work through. Yes, okay, that's good. So it's starting to, yeah, fantastic. So you can see that using this technique, what you can do is you don't have to like manually render things. You can basically, you know, create these scenes and let the AI just fill in some of the surfacing detail, and it's really good interpreting the light as well. So yeah, I think that, yeah, that is basically the technique. Once you've got one that you like, so I'm going to choose one out of this. This one's quite, it looks a bit weird through maybe through there. You might, some of them you might find that you end up touching them up just a little bit in Photoshop. Let's upscale that one and have a look at it. So now that it's upscaling, Let's have a look at it. Okay, yeah, that looks good. And then once you've got it, you can download it if you want to have a look at it. We can open the file and you can see that we've got ourselves a really nice high-res looking image that we're able to define the shape and the tone of by using a combination of visual images that we create in 3D and 2D images that we go and find on the web. So thanks very much. Give it a go.